So I'm going to do the question from section 3.5, question 11. So the situation is the birth year life expectancy in the years WT and MT for women and men respectively are modeled by the system below, where T is the number of years since 1980. So they give us the equations for women's and men's life expectancy, and they also give us a graph. So our first question is A. Of those born in 2012, how much longer are women likely to live than men on average? And B is, use a simple method to predict the birth years for which men will have longer life expectancy than women. And our last question is, a woman born in 1980 wants to choose a man to marry, so she doesn't outlive him. Should she marry a younger person or an older person, and what's the acceptable years? So our first question, which is, of those born in 2012, how much longer are women likely to live than men on average? So first up, we have to find the women born in 2012, what their life expectancy is. And so first of all, we have to first figure out T, and T is years after 1980. So we have to minus 2012 minus 1980, which gives us 32, and so that is T. So we plug that into T. So 0.114 times 32 is 3.648, and we plus that by 77.47, which gives us 81.118. So women born in 2012 have a life expectancy of 81.118. So the question is asking us to see how much more women's life expectancy more than men. So we have to find out the expectancy of men as well. So we get the equation of men, and then we plug 32 into it, and then 0.219 times 32 is 6.688, and we plus that by 69.78, which gives us 76.468, and then we get the difference of it. So 81.118 minus 76.468 is 4.65. So women born in 2012 have 4.65 more years of more life expectancy than men. So we're going to our second question, which is, use a symbolic method to predict the birth years which men will have longer life expectancy than women. So we have to compare the two equations together. So our equation will look like 0.114t plus 77.47 is lesser than, this is the women's equation, and this is the men's, is less than 0.219t plus 69.78. So to solve this, we first have to get all the variables to one side. So we minus negative the 0.219 onto both sides, and we get negative 0.095t plus 7747 is lesser than 69.78. And then we have to get all the non-variables to one side, so we minus 77.47 to both sides, which gives us negative 0.095t is lesser than negative 79.69. To get the variable by itself, we divide negative 0.095 to both sides, which gives us t is greater than 80.9473. The reason why the inequality switches is because we divided both sides by a negative number, and that is why it switched. So, and it also tells us to round down, so t is greater than 80, and so t is the years after 1980, so we plus 80 to 1980, which gives us the year 2060. So men in the year 2060 will after 2060 will have a greater lifespan than women. So we're going to our last question, which is, a woman born in 1980 wants to choose a man to marry, so she doesn't outlive him. Should she marry a younger or older man, and what are the acceptable birthright years? So first of all, we have to figure out until how old can the life expectancy for a woman in 1980. So we go to our equation and we plug t and with a 0, because t is years after 1980, so it's a 0. So and we will get 77.47, and so we plus that to 1980. So this woman was able to live up to the year 2057. So we need a man that could live over that. So you plug it into this equation. MT, which is the man's life expectancy equation, plus T, which is the year after 1980, plus 1980. There's a T here because men don't start growing from 1980, but they grow the years after 1980. So how many years from that? So first, so this is the full equation. So MT plus T plus 1980 is greater than 77.47 plus 1980. So we put MT is 0.209, T is plus 69.78 plus T plus 1980 is greater than 77.47 plus 1980. So we could first get rid of 1980s by minusing 1980 to both sides, which will give us 0.219. T plus 69.78 plus T is greater than 77.47. And now we round all the variables up together, which will give us 1.219. T plus 69.78 is greater than 77.47. And now we want to get all the non-variables to one side, so we minus 69.78 to both sides, which just give us 1.219. T is greater than 7.69. And we want to get the variable by itself, so we divide 1.219 to both sides, which will give us T is greater than 6.36. And they want us to round, so T is greater than 6. And so we plug it into, since T is the years after 1980, so plug it in. We plus 6 to 1980, give us 1986. So the woman who was born in 1980, to have a man that wouldn't outlive her, he has to marry someone that's younger than her, who was born after 1986.